Hey, what's up, everyone? And welcome back to the Melvin Live Show. And this is episode 89. And I'm really, really glad to be here with you today. I have so much I want to share with you, and the few things that I would like to say to you as well. So let's get down to it. Now, first and foremost, in case you are joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just set up a few things here. The whole idea with this whole show itself, it's to be able to give you an idea of what I'm doing and what in terms of the scope of work that I am working towards. So, in case you're not familiar with the work that I do, I'm actually a business consultant by day. I train as well as I consult for organizations and schools. And I do quite a fair bit of leadership training these days as well. And I also do a lot of training in terms of social media. So those are some of the areas of my work at this point in time. Now, w- why am I doing this live show? And so the reason behind this live show is because on the side, I am actually, um, s- building a a business. And what's so unique about this business is that it's a one person, 1 million all digital business. And the premise of this business itself essentially start from the days when I first started doing consulting for schools. And at one point in time, I wanted to take my consulting business to the next level itself. And so I went to talk to a few people, and one of the consultants that I actually spoke to, one of these trainers that I actually spoke to, told me that what actually I have was not a business, but actually what I have was a job. Now, obviously, I wasn't pleased when I heard that, and I thought that he was being cocky, but lo and behold, I think it is so true because the moment I stop working, the money stops. And so, as a result of that, I've been looking at ways to kind of transform myself, transform my entire way of doing business, the entire way of earning an income. And so, in the last couple of years, what I've done is that I've gone from just solely relying on one income itself to have gone on to generating multiple streams of income. And so, right now, the fortunate thing is that I am not dependent on just one source of income. I'm actually able to generate income from other aspects as well. And so that it's truly, truly something that I've built up over the years, and I've built up to this level at this point in time. And so I'm grateful for that entire experience itself. And so the premise of this show is that I then wanted to take it to the next level. I wanted to build a one person, 1 million annual revenue digital business. And the reason why I say digital business is because I didn't want to be a job or a business that requires me to be there to complete the transaction. I wanted something that can run independently of me. Now, it's not that I want to just be behind the scene. I sell something and I never want to communicate or engage with the people that who are my clients. That's further from the truth. That could be further from the truth. The way that I see it is that this business, the bare minimum of it doesn't requires me to be there, and so that gives me that flexibility of being able to operate in a way that allows me to really function and to be able to scale. And so the whole idea behind this is that I do not want to be tied down. I do not want to become the I do not just want to have my 8 hours being solely dedicated to earning just an income to make ends meet. What I wanted to do was that I wanted to have something that it's all digital and doesn't require me to be there, and so it allows me to be able to um, you know get the business going and all the sorts of things. So that's what I'm actually looking at, right? And so this whole show itself, it's sharing what I've learned in the process of building this business. And I would say it's a long ride because it always take longer than it seems, and it definitely it's going to be much um, difficult than what you anticipate it to be, and that's the best part because that really is what kind of keeps me going, right? And so this whole idea of this show is to share with you what I've learned, and in the process of it to kind of help you to be able to um, get a sense of things, right? And so there are a few things that I am still learning here in terms of my work. And so it's never something that it's already done. It's not something that it's already like a foregone conclusion. It is something that I'm learning every day, and I think this whole process of learning every day it's so tremendously valuable. I want to be able to document this, and I want to be able to kind of look back at it and see how this whole thing works, and what are some of the pieces that you can replicate, and what are some of the things that you need to rethink about things. So I have my workstation here, and so the whole idea was I want to be able to do it in such a way that I want to be able to share with you. And so the few things that I've been doing, one is that I've been really excited about sharing this whole process itself. And so um, I decided that one of the key things is I want to be able to do a live stream. And so in May 28th, I decided to jump on this live streaming bandwagon. I just decided that, hey, this is what I want to do. And I just went with it. And I must say, over the last 88 episodes itself has really given me a lot to think about. And, and some days really it stopped me and allows me to think much clearly. The other thing is that it keeps me on the toes. It keeps me knowing that at the end of today, I need to report on the camera on the live stream. And that's something that's just huge. It kind of holds me accountable. I want to be able to share with you that I've done something. I've I've spoken to some customers. I've presented my solution to people, instead of just say that well, today I put up the website, right? And so those are some of the things that I kind of wanted to hold myself accountable at the same time for you to get a sense of how this whole thing is done. So if you ever want to replicate this whole process itself, you can simply just watch through all the videos, and you'll be able to get a sense of it. What I am going to change things up a bit is number one, as I have shown today in the title of today's live stream, I want to be able to have you think about a community. And so, in the past, people probably say that the money is in the list, right? If you have a mailing list, then, arguably you have a higher chance of making money because you will be able to sell to that mailing list itself. I think in today's context, because of social media, because of the way things are, I think it's a little different. And so the way that I really would like to look at this is that I want to create a community, right? I want to create a community. I want to have this community um, be with me. And of course, for me, it's really to be able to say that. what am I going to offer to the community? And so the few things that I'm going to offer to the community, one is that I want to be able to identify the people that I want to involve in this community. So who are these people? Um, well, these people are the ones who have been operating as a one-person business. Some of the pain points include, when they stop working, the money stops. So anyone who is like a trainer, a face-to-face facilitator, a coach, even, right? If you haven't already went online to offer your coaching service, anyone within that category itself, right? Anyone who experienced the fact that when money stops, the money stops the moment you stop working. Anyone in that category, that's the group of people that I'm talking to. Now, the other group of people that I'm talking to are people who have been experiencing this feast and famine season, right? Sometimes you are so busy that you just simply cannot take on more work, or you become, you just do not have enough project to kind of sustain you, right? And so that's the second pain point. Now, the third pain point is something that I experience every beginning of the year or every end of the year. It's that how do I match or even exceed what I've done the previous year? In other words, every year it's starting at zero again and going out to get customers, to get clients, and that can be awfully stressful. And the other thing that I really would like to address is also the fact that it is not predictable. In other words, I cannot say for sure that this year we're going to make $250,000, and moving forward we are going to be at least built on that, and to be able to have that, to kind of help us through. So, you know when the business doesn't have something that is predictable, then it is not a good business. And so that's the category of people that I want to reach out to, because that's exactly where I was 4 years ago. Now, what I have been looking at in terms of the end goal is that we all have this business which is all digital, which means you can operate from anywhere in the world. You can have that time freedom because you are not tied down to the fact that you have to be there to complete the transaction with the client. The other aspect of it is that, I really want us to see this as a way to allow us to tap on our talent, our intellectual freedom, so that we are able to pursue the very thing that we are passionate about, that we are good at, right? And of course, that should give us some level of financial freedom. And so that's the end goal. And how we're going to get there is essentially this. There are three key things that we're going to do. Number one is we are definitely going to leverage a few key tools. Number one is we're going to leverage video. I think video is definitely the way to go. And unless and until you are able to make a convincing case on the video, and preferably on live stream, I think it's going to be quite difficult going forward. So, back in those days when I was coming out at work, you would have to be able to use a PowerPoint, and you have to be good at it, right? Because if you're good at PowerPoint, then you actually stand a better chance than your peers to get seen and to make to make your case, essentially, right? And so that communication power and that use of tool is number one. Number two, it's speaking of tools. Number two is the type of tools that we're going to be using, and the type of tools that I'm going to be using is what we call no-code tools, right? I mean, you can learn all the fancy programming language and all that thing, but actually in today's context, and I'll prove to you that you can actually hire someone to build that app for you, to write the code for you. You do not even need to do that yourself, right? You just have to be that producer, that visionary person to be able to see where this thing is going to go. And so if you think about that, really is to be able to leverage the set of no code tools, and there are many that is within our what do you might call that, within our disposal, at our disposal at this point in time, right? And the third thing is that I think in order to build a business, we have to be very strong in terms of economics. We need to know very fundamental things like demand and supply. We need to be able to go according to those principles, and then to be able to use the tools that we currently have to validate and to be able to make sure that those principles are in place. Because until and unless we are able to implement and put those principles in place, we are just how I may say it, we're just shooting in the dark, right? And so I want that business to be built on fundamentals and built on principles itself. And so that there you have it. Those are some of the things that I would want to be sharing with you. And so over the next couple of weeks, what I have planned out is that I will be sharing with you all the things that I've learned, right? All the things that I've learned in the process itself, because I think it's really, really crucial that I want you to be in my community. And so if you are someone who fits that category, then you should be in my community. And if you're not, that's fine. You shouldn't be part of this community. You probably be better off in another community. But for those of you who, experience that pain points, then this is definitely the community that you want to be in. Now, what's going to be in this community itself is that we are definitely going to be giving each other the support. At the same time, there's going to be great things that are coming out for this community itself. So take this as, the first episode in the new season of the Melvin Live Show, because what I'm going to be sharing with you are the things that I've learned, and every single aspect of it, I will be kind of reporting to you here on the Melvin Live Show. So the time is set. I'm going to be broadcasting every day at about 9:30. I'm working out a process whereby I'm able to kind of inform you beforehand what time I will be broadcasting and what I will be talking about that day, so that you can kind of anticipate what's going to happen. And what's more important is that you are then able to determine if that is something that you want to follow, right? And so that is the main idea behind it. Once again, if you fall into that category itself, please drop me a message, subscribe, like my page, follow my page on Facebook itself, because that way you will get notified whenever I go live or I broadcast live itself, right? And so the two channels that I am going to be on definitely is going to be YouTube as well as Facebook, right? And so those are the two channels. I have a reason for broadcasting or simulcasting at both channels, and there's a reason behind that. I will share with you in an upcoming episode itself. And also from time to time, I will also show you the behind the scene of how I set up my live streaming setup. Okay, now this setup right now, it's almost complete. I'm almost, I would say I'm almost 100% satisfied with this setup itself, with a few, one or two more tweaks, and then we're done. But I'm pretty satisfied with this setup itself. Let me know if you've seen the setup, how it has evolved over the show itself. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you do not like, what you wish to see more of. Tell me that in the comments below, and I'll be more than glad to share with you. All right, and with that, thank you so much. Make sure you um, come back tomorrow, because tomorrow I will be sharing with the community what's you can expect in the months, in the weeks, and the months coming ahead. There's going to be lots of cool stuff that I will be sharing with the community and the community alone. So that's something that you will definitely want to find out. With that, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.